Hi, Kristen Adamo.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. You are president and CEO of, well, I'm going to say Go Providence because I'm not going to get the words in the right order now.
Right, the Providence Warwick Convention and Visitors Bureau, but it even takes me a while to remember it. So it's kind of long. So Go Providence is totally fine.
It's a mouthful. It's the Tourism Convention Industry Association.
Yeah, so what we do is we market the whole state for sports. So we do everything from wrestling, cheerleading tournaments, March Madness, to meetings and conventions for Providence and Warwick primarily. So we work a lot with the convention center, and we book everything from Comic-Con to like these super wonky scientific meetings. And then we also do the leisure marketing for Providence. So people are coming for like a long weekend getaway.
So this has been an interesting time for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, interesting is the best way to put it.
So how has it been the past? And also I would like to say that we had lunch I think it was the week before everything shut down, and I did not see any of this coming.
No, neither did I. The first day that the convention center closed, we had about 6,000 cheerleaders on their way to Providence. Now, I don't know that all of them were coming, but the organizers were here and set up. And I think the governor clearly made the right call because we're really in a great spot right now. But it was, traumatic. And by the end of that week, we had lost our first $6 or $7 million in economic impact for the city. And all told, we've canceled a lot of business between March 11th and November 1st, which is the most optimistic day of getting the convention center back. And we're looking at $48.5 million in direct spending losses for the state of Rhode Island. So the hit that our industry has taken has just been massive. And we're still kind of, in that first initial bit of recovering. We were the first to be hit, and I think we're going to be one of the last to recover.
Yeah. What do you think this will mean in terms of, long-term changes for the industry? Or do you think, it's a blip that's going to last a while and then things will go back? Or do you think there'll be significant shifts?
I think there's already been some changes, and I think some of them are good, like outdoor dining. We did a little bit of it, but we never really doubled down on it the way that restaurants are doing right now. And people seem to love it, and it helps with more kind of footprint so that restaurants can make more money. So, I'd love to see heat lamps, and let's do it through November, So that's one good thing. And then the other is the collaboration that people I've been working in this market a long time, and I've never seen people as willing to roll up their sleeves and partner. And I think that the smallness of Rhode Island is going to be a good thing as we recover and we collaborate. So those are some of the good things. Meetings, I think, are going to take a while. We're not going to be hosting 1, 2, 3, 4,000 people in the destination for some time. So what we're doing now is looking at, well, what components can be virtual and what can we do to kind of work with planners to make sure that their meetings still happen and that they're successful.
And so how have you personally been navigating this? Because I think you had your 1-year anniversary in your current position during this. And, I think it must have been quite the fire hose for you, just navigating it, your own sort of personal concerns, and then kind of working and holding up an entire industry along the way.
It's been, my team calls me the jinx because we've had a couple of little things that happened in my first year and then this big thing. So I actually sent Liz Catucci, who is the new head of the Northern Chamber, a little note, and I was like, how are you doing? You hang it in. It's not easy being the new kid. And, we bonded over that. The hardest thing has been losing my staff. We went from 25 people down to 7. We're back up at 8, and we're hoping to add at least a few more over the summer. But we weren't eligible for payroll protection because we're a 501c6. So these are people that work really hard every day and that I'm friends with. So that's been the hardest part. But it also lights the fire in your belly. Like everything you do, you think, well, am I saving a job? And it doesn't have to be my team's job. It takes 13 hotel rooms for one housekeeper to be employed. And I think about that a lot. If we can book 13 hotel rooms, that means, some man or woman gets paid for that day.
Yeah. So what should Rhode Islanders do? What advice or request do you have of us to support the industry?
Well, I think that people really need to advocate for us by getting out there. And if you're not comfortable going out to dinner, order takeout. Staycations, if you feel comfortable going into a hotel. Hotels have been hit in numerous ways. The closing of the convention center, the 14-day quarantine when that was in effect hit them. Just 5 hotels lost more than $7 million in wedding business. So they've been hit from all sides. So if you can support a hotel, that would be so helpful. And then the third thing is to remember to recommend Rhode Island for meetings and conventions and sporting events and religious groups, because we're going to need that business to help recover. And we're going to be recovering for 3 to 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what, if anything, is giving you hope or making you feel hopeful looking forward?
I think a few things. One is the pent-up demand. People really want to get out and travel, and we know this because we sit on these like crazy webinars with all this research, and people are looking at TripAdvisor and those kind of inspirational sites. So we know people want to get out and travel, and that gives me hope. The support of the public, I think, in Rhode Island has been great. There was a post that Rhode Island Problems did, which I usually love that Instagram, but it basically made fun of Providence at Newport's expense. And it hurt my feelings. Like, I'm trying to get people here. And, but what made me feel great was there were like 20 comments underneath it talking about how great Providence is and how they need to reevaluate what they just said. And so those kinds of like little bits of yay give me hope and make me feel good about the future.
Great. Well, thank you for talking with me, and thanks for all
Sure.
you're doing. We're really lucky to have you.
I'm trying. We'll
fighting
see.
the fight.
So far, so good.
Yeah. No, keep going.